I'm going to look at the claims of links between the Knights Templar and Freemasonry and ask whether or not this link really exists. Is it true? Is there a shared link between those brave crusaders who fought in the Holy Land 800 years ago and your local Masonic lodge? Let's investigate. But first, remember to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let's start then with the Knights Templar, who were founded in the year 1118 by 9 knights, ostensibly with the mission to protect pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem, to venerate, to worship at the holy sites. From the very outset, they insisted on being based on the Temple Mount. That is the area in Jerusalem which was once believed to be the site of the Temple of Solomon. The Knights Templar combined, if you want, monks and knights. They were prayerful, but at the same time, they were a very well-organized, disciplined military order. Their headquarters on Temple Mount is what's now the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and they believed that they were situated right on top of the Temple of Solomon. So what lay beneath Temple Mount? And did the Templars go digging for it? This has been the subject of conspiracy theory speculation for a long time. Did the Templars find the Ark of the Covenant? Did they find the Holy Grail? And so on. Jerusalem was then retaken after 100 years of Crusader control by the Saracens. Saladin retook Jerusalem for Islam, and the Templars were forced out first to Acre and then off the mainland. Their mission in the Holy Land had ostensibly failed, and they returned back to Europe. In the year 1307, just under 200 years after the Knights Templar had been formed, King Philip IV of France and Pope Clement basically got together to crush the Knights Templar. Templar Knights were imprisoned, tortured, executed, and their property was seized. Now, some believe that there were Knights Templar who, if you want, went on the run and hid out among sympathetic Masons who themselves were organized in semi-covert guilds. Now, over time, the Masons and the Templars essentially melded into each other. Their rituals, their practices, their values became the same. Freemasons, like the Knights Templar, traced their roots, their origins back to the holy city of Jerusalem, and in particular to the Temple of Solomon. That's where the Templars had been based, and Freemasonry also had a strong link to the whole story of the temple. Freemasonry includes a ritual where the original architect of the Temple of Solomon, Hiram Abith, is murdered by 3 junior Masons because he has refused to share the secrets of being a master Mason. And this ritual is acted out behind closed doors by the Masons, with the character of Hiram Abith, the chief architect of King Solomon's temple, being blindfolded and then murdered by 3 assassins. Masons also claim that their rituals, their beliefs, may stretch even further back to the mystery cults of ancient Egypt, of Greece, even of India. And of course, these all involved strange initiation rituals. They believed that the Knights Templar were also influenced by these esoteric beliefs and early Christian beliefs, and that they imbibed ideas in the Middle East that were, if you want, hostile to the established Roman Catholic Church, that undermined the power of the Church, and this is why they had to be crushed. The Templars, of course, had been protected by the papacy, but for whatever reason, maybe the reasons I've just outlined, by the year 1307, Pope Clement decided the Knights Templar had to go, and go quickly. The mainstream historical account has it that the Templars were then crushed and that they disappeared, but the Masonic account is that the Templars very much continued, but under the radar. Freemasonry emerged some 250, 300 years after the crushing of the Knights Templar, but the Masonic tradition is that there is a link, an unbroken link between the Templars and the Masons, and that the Masons were essentially continuing the tradition, the practice, the values of the Knights Templar. Needless to say, critics of Freemasonry have been less than convinced for a long time. They've tended to characterize the Masons, the Freemasons, as a dangerous underground movement, fermenters of revolution, trying to overthrow the old order, maybe because they think they're involved in some sort of revenge in the name of the Knights Templar against those who crushed them. Certainly the allegations that have been made against Freemasons over the last 200-300 years seem to mirror those that were made against the Templars back in 1307, that they are heretics, that they are godless, that they have extremely bizarre initiation rituals. Now, most modern historians, medieval historians, believe that there is no link whatsoever between Freemasonry and the Knights Templar, that this is a mythology, a Masonic mythology, but it has no grounding whatsoever in truth, in reality. To these historians, the Knights Templar were utterly crushed in the 14th century. There was no secret line of Grand Masters that continued. There was no relationship with the Freemasons. The Freemasons are a much later invention, if you want, or a movement, and that they have absolutely no link to the Knights Templar. This is, if you want, a kind of romantic fiction concocted in the 18th or 19th century. As ever, tell me what you think, whether or not maybe you're a Freemason or you're a member of a Templar organization, a Catholic Templar organization, for example. They do exist. Tell me what you think. It's a complex issue. It's very interesting, certainly very popular on my blog, The Templar Knights. So share your thoughts with me. I am dying to know what you think. Okay, quickly then, let's have a look at what I've been up to on TV. So I've now been in 2 seasons of Channel 5's Secrets of the Royal Palaces, talking about royal scandals of the present and royal scandals of the past. I've been in 3 seasons of William Shatner's The Unexplained, and in a couple of recent episodes was talking about the King Arthur legend and also theories around who was Jack the Ripper. I'm in a brand new series called Evidence of the Unexplained, talking about UFOs. Absolutely fantastic series, and I recommend that you download it. You really will be on the edge of your seat. This is Templar Night TV. Please do visit the blog, which is now in its 12th glorious year. And I'm always busy here, of course, on YouTube. So remember to subscribe to the channel and send any of your thoughts and comments in. Until we meet again then, non nobis domine.